This is Deborah Johnson for Women at Halftime, and I'm passionate about helping women use their untapped skills, resources, and talents to create their ideal work and lifestyle, making a difference in their second half. Well, hello. It is great to be back with all of you today. This is Deborah Johnson with our Women at Halftime podcast and our show today. Oh, do we have a wonderful guest for you? I am so excited about this one. A couple reminders before we begin is that we have the Hero Mountain Summit coming up. And this is a 5-month, what I call a pacing program. For those of you who have a hard time getting off the dime, something I do, excuse me, very well is help people accomplish their goals. So I only offer this twice a year. So go to heromountainsummit.com. And I'm already all choked up for our guest today because I am really excited to have the Pink Lady on. And our title is Working Through Your Golden Years with the Pink Lady. And say hello to everybody.
Hey there. Hello, everyone. From the great color pink.
Yes, from the great, and you are definitely, everything is pink, everything is pink. So it's just
hair and all.
Yes. So I am going to let you tell quite a bit of your own story today, and which will be really, really fun for everyone to hear. So let's start out because people are going to want to know what is the Pink Lady, but tell us, when did it all begin? So just go ahead and start with your story.
Deborah, this is a great story, okay? I know exactly the moment and the time that it started. A lot of people do not know that. And it started in a very cold, blustery, rainy day in the year 1936, okay? I was standing at a bus stop with my mother, who was 8 months pregnant with my sister. I was 4 years old. And pouring rain. I don't remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday, but I remember what I did that day. And I was dressed in a little pink parka, little jeans, and I had a little crew cut there, cute little white hair. The bus stopped, and the bus driver looked at my mother. We were going down to Boston to the hospital to see my father, who was ill. And the bus driver looked at my mother and he said, "Oh, ma'am, look at this bus. I mean, we're full. You're going to have to stand for an hour." And with that, I jumped on the foot of the bus there, and I put my hands on my waist, and I said to the bus driver and all the people in the bus, "Excuse me, but isn't there a gentleman on this bus who let a lady sit down?" 3 men got up.
Oh,
and we sat all the way down to see my dad. Now that day, my attitude of letting no one rain on my parade, but having a positive attitude began.
Wow. Oh, that is amazing. I mean, what?
I knew exactly when it was.
Yeah. And you were how old then?
I was 4 years old.
4 years old.
And I knew that I was not going to let anyone dictate anything to me. I knew that I could do what I wanted to do. I just knew.
Great. That's great. And you've continued to do that, of course, your whole life.
My whole life, right. And when you said before that you were going to ask me, how did I become the Pink Lady?
How did you become the Pink Lady? Yes.
My second husband and I had a business in the California Mart here in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And it was my husband and I were sales reps for women's wear. And what happened was I wore all different color clothes in those years. And 1963, 64. And one day I was walking down the California Mart hallway, and it was long hallways. And someone yelled, because that day I was wearing pink. I just happened to wear pink that day. And someone yelled, "Hey, Pink Lady." And my husband was a marketing genius.
Wow.
He said, honey, come here. So I went back to the showroom and he said, how would you like to be known throughout our business? And I thought, well, yeah. He said, you are now the Pink Lady.
Wow.
Well, within 3 weeks, I walked back into the mart one day and I started to wear pink. And there on a glass showroom, there was a huge sign my husband had made. And it said, Walter P. Goldberg and Associates, starring,
Oh my goodness.
starring, and with a big pink star, starring the Pink Lady.
Oh my.
Well, Deborah, let me tell you, it took off like a bat out of you know what. Within 6 months, there wasn't anybody in our business all across the country who didn't say, hey, Pink Lady. So literally, in fact, I trademarked it in 1965. And I became the Pink Lady.
You know, that is such a great lesson in branding. You know, everybody's trying to just brand themselves and be so different, but really you were being yourself.
Well, yeah. And it was like a natural thing. First of all, I was lucky, thank you, God,
Yes.
that my complexion and everything was great with the color pink.
Yes.
Till this day. I mean, it's like a fabulous color.
It really is. Even your hair is pink.
Yes, it is. Yes.
It's just really amazing.
I'll tell you a story about that in a minute. But, you know, everybody wants to know, because I know you asked me before, you know, what is a Pink Lady? You know,
Yes.
like, well, first of all, it's a drink. That's for sure. Those of us who can drink, it's a drink.
Yes.
But, you know, I would say, Deborah, that the Pink Lady is someone who owns who they are.
Ah.
You remember Kermit the Frog? Kermit the Frog said, it ain't easy being green.
Uh-huh.
I say to people, it is easy being pink.
Ah.
Because what it is, it's a positive attitude with lots of gratitude.
I
And
love
it
that.
helps me, I love it because it helps me be who I am today. And I tell people, okay, are you ready for this? I am a spirited, energetic, enthusiastic, and creative woman who in her 89th year is having the best time of her life as I continue, Deborah, to help people see life through rose-colored glasses.
You know, I love that attitude. And this is really, I think listeners, anybody who is listening to this should give everyone an absolute boost for the next decades of their life. I mean, when you are in halftime, you enter officially at the age of 40. I mean, it comes really fast.
Oh, it does.
Really fast.
Believe me.
And there's plenty of years to reinvent, it's why I'm doing much of what I'm doing. It's why I put the Hero Mountain Summit together. People are having a hard time just getting out of their roundabouts. They keep circling, they keep going round and round, and they need to have that stronger purpose. You have developed such a strong purpose, and that's what we're going to get to next, is, you know, some of those life choices, because you've made some of those choices as well, and that is associated with your purpose. It's kept you going in having that spirited, energetic, sort of attitude all the way through. So, but I just think it's absolutely, and you look amazing. You just look amazing.
Thank you. Well, I have great genes. My mother and grandmother had fabulous skin, and you know, that's what they blessed me with that. And my dad gave me the energy. So, you know, you were just saying about choices that we make in life to stay alive and well and everything. I have to tell you, I got to tell your audience a cute joke. This woman walks into a pharmacist and she says to the pharmacist, I want some cyanide to kill my husband. And the pharmacist looks at her and he says, excuse me, are you joking? If I said you some arsenic, I'll go to jail, you'll go to jail. I mean, come on. And she looked at him. She reaches into her pocketbook and she takes out a picture And the picture is of her husband with his wife in bed. And the pharmacist looks at it and he goes, well, why didn't you tell me you had a permission and a requirement and a requisite to do this? He says, I'm going to give you the arsenic. So that's the choices that we make in life. And my choice, Deborah, all joking aside, my choice in life, because I was a widow with 3 children under 8 years old at 26. So I made up my mind at that moment in time in my life that I would not be a victim, but a survivor. And I tell that to people. I say, no matter what happens in life, you had to get up, you have to get out, and you have to get your life back. And that's the title of my book, which we'll talk about later.
Yes.
But I chose to own who I am. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I chose a gratitude and a positive attitude in my life. And when I chose that, I chose, Deborah, to live my life as an adventure. I mean, I've got good days, bad adventures, good adventures. But you know what? Every single one of them gave me the experience to take my life where it should. And I tell people, Deborah, that we grow older, not old, when we're young at heart.
I love that.
And when we realize that every door, believe me, I swear to you, every door is open to you when you do that positive attitude. It just is, Deborah.
And there's so much on mindset. People are talking about mindset, and you've really kept that mindset and that attitude throughout, because life is life. I mean, there's just.
No, I say, you know what happens.
Of course.
I'll say it on the air. You know what happens.
Married a number of years to a former professional baseball player. You get a number of flat fastballs all through your life, and you have to figure them out, and they get a little bit harder to see, as we gracefully get a little older. But you still have to meet those, and how you meet those too, with the type of attitude, is very, very important. It affects everything.
I say, Deborah, just to interrupt for 1 minute, I say add a positive attitude, but you have to add with gratitude.
With gratitude, yes.
Because those two things, no matter who you have as your mentor out there, no matter who it is, the universe, God, whatever.
Right.
It's that positive attitude with the gratitude.
Yes. Yes. And so many, Pink, I'm just going to call you Pink.
Please, that's what they do.
But so many are into this victim attitude, and they can't seem to think or focus on that thankfulness, on that gratitude. Correct. And we have a generation, generations maybe by now, of just, they've had more. My parents came through, my grandparents especially, the Depression, had nothing. And when you've come through those stages, you realize how very grateful you are even for the basics.
Exactly. And you don't take life for granted at this point.
Exactly. So those are some of your choices of just living your life with that positive attitude and gratitude. And that's probably your secret ingredient. Is that correct? I mean, I want to know if there's...
I've got a couple of secret ingredients. As I said to you, the first secret ingredient is from the very beginning when I spoke to you, is I honestly let no one rain on my parade. I really don't. Mm-hmm. As long as I know that I'm not hurting anyone, then what I do is what I do for, I feel, the benefit of the world. I say it's never, ever, ever too late to be who you always want to be, no matter what. And the secret to that is, everyone laughs, but my kids say, "Mom, you're like 24/7, the Energizer bunny." And that's the other thing. I mean, I work, I have values, I'm focused. I'm multitasking. Till this day, and we'll talk about it, I still work at 88 and a half in my 89th year. And I definitely always, no matter what, this is the other thing. And this is a funny story. I always, even if I go out to the mailbox, Deborah, I've got my makeup on. I just do. I just do. I did a show, and we'll talk about that, but I'll tell you the story. I did a film with Jamie Lee Curtis a couple of years ago, and it was Beauty Culture, it was called. And in one scene, they're putting makeup on me. And then the next scene, you see me all in glitter and glamour, sitting on a stool, and someone said, "Pink lady, I hear that you get up at 6 a.m. in the morning and you put your makeup on." And I said, "Yes, I do." Well, and they said, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm single. And if that doorbell rings and it's the FedEx man and I go and answer it and I'm single, I want to be ready for him." Well, that like stole the whole film. But you see, the attitude of wanting to look your best no matter what makes me feel good and whoever I'm with. So I say that I did a seminar. I do seminars like you, Deborah.
Yes.
And they're called Get Up, Get Out, and Get a Life.
Yes.
And one lady raised her hand, the old lady, and she said, "Well, Pink lady, what do you do to keep yourself going?" You know, like attitude. And I said, "Excuse me, my darling. I do everything I possibly can. I don't know what it is. I do it." But you see, it's like, I don't know whether you heard of this author, D.W. Wincott. And she said, "May I be alive when I die."
Wow.
Well, think about that. May I be alive when I die. And you know what I mean by that. May I keep going.
Yes.
Until I'm not here anymore.
Yes.
That's my legacy.
You know, it's so funny because even at the stage I'm at, which I am not nearly where.
So you're waving.
But people are still asking, are you going to keep working? Oh, yes, at least another 20 years or more. If I can, I would love to keep working for 20, 30. And it depends. You know, I mean, it would be lovely because I love what I do. And you just really love what you do.
I do.
Same thing. And you can be flexible with your schedules and whatever. I mean, your schedule is amazing. With all of that you were booking, and we're going to talk about that in a moment, what you're really doing. You're like producing a TV shows, you're doing all of this stuff. I mean, it's pretty amazing that you have done all this. And I want to talk about when you reinvented yourself, because you say you reinvented yourself at the age of 72. I mean, some people listening to this are going, "Are you kidding?"
Yeah, you kidding me? I mean, you're going to be joking. Well, I say to people, remember, it's not when we age, okay, Deborah? It's how we age.
Yeah.
And it's never, ever too late. I did it at 72, which I'll tell you about.
Right.
To get a life or to change the one you have.
Yes.
And what happened to me was my second husband passed away. And before he passed away, he said to me, "Pink, I want you to promise me something." I said, "What's that, dear?" He said, "I want you to remember that life is for the living. And when you live it, then you grow." And I did. And I reinvented myself. So I took the Pink Lady and I became an actor, an author, a motivational speaker, and an activist for helping those over 60 years of age who thought it was over. I mean, I just took myself and I said, you know what? There's another life out there. Yes. I'm going to live it. And how I did that was I entered a Ms. Senior America pageant.
That's amazing.
And I won. and when I asked them, in this pageant, I got to tell you, there were 23 women, and they were from 60 to 92, and there were singers and dancers. They were fabulous. And I said, you know, I don't know, what am I doing here? But anyway, I did a monologue, and the monologue was, to age or not to age? That is the question.
Wow.
And it was at the end of the day, and they were announcing the winners, and they announced our winner is the Pink Lady. And afterwards, I asked the judges, why me? And they all said the same thing. They said, because with you, forget the singing, forget a dancer, your energy, your zest for life gives other people that motivation to continue living.
Wow.
And that, I mean, as I said, and then I also became a SAG-AFTRA actress. I was in a Super Bowl commercial. And then I did the #1 music video last year called You Better Stay Calm with Taylor Swift and Katy Perry. So I reinvented my whole life.
You sure did.
I mean, completely different, because I tell you people, Deborah, you at your age could have 3 other careers ahead of you.
Yes. Yes.
And I tell that to people, don't ever stop living.
I absolutely love that, because people they kind of give up. They just wonder, okay, so what can I do? Wringing the hands, or they stay where they're at and they're not happy because they think, oh, I'll just bide this out. And what that does to you is just, it beats you down.
Yep.
And you have to be able, I'm a big encourager of people just starting a side business, get going on that. And I see all that you've done, really over the age of 72. Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
I know. It's like, I'd like to, do you have this is a second. I just like to tell people this one thing. I found this little poem. It's 5 lines. And I think you would like it. And I know your audience would.
Yes.
Today, let's fall in love with the person in the mirror. The person you see every day, but seldom look at. Let's take nothing for granted. Let's first love who we are. Not this moment, not this day, not even the year, but let's love who we are every day. I mean, it's so true. A lot of people, Deborah, and I know you know it in what you do, they don't have enough confidence in who they are.
You
they don't love who they are.
Yes. In fact, this book, I have another book coming out this fall, but a lot of it is about that, in this journey to the summit and finding out really who you are and what you can be, and living into that sort of person. But the things that hold us back is ourselves. We just hold our own selves out, and we want to please people That's why I said to you, I'm not letting anyone rain on my parade. I'm not letting anyone tell me it's sunny when it's pouring rain or it's icy. I mean, so come on. That is so great. Well, tell us a little bit about your book.
Oh, that was fun.
But then I want you to get into your TV show too, because that's fascinating for anybody listening to this, from somebody in their 89th year that's doing this. I mean, I don't know how many shows you were mentioning. Well,
actually, we do a show every week, and we take 12 to 15 shows a month. Yeah, it's a lot, but I love interviewing people. In fact, I got a compliment. Someone said to me, "You're like Johnny Carson, Pink. You give that question, you give your energy, and you let your guests run with it." And that's why we're so successful. The book is called Get Up, Get Out, and Get a Life. And then in the very bottom, it says, it ain't over till I or you say it's over. So I wrote that book just to encourage people who are of an age who think it is over. And I tell people, you know what? We all have a story to tell, but it's not how we tell that story, but how we live that story.
Oh, that's so great. And I'll make sure in the article that comes with this, because I write an article with every show, with every podcast, and they will have the links to go to your website and all your information, because I think a lot of people need to get that book right now. Because, part of this, Pink, is is that people have kind of given up, and we've come out of a year that's been very, very difficult.
Yep.
And people are still, they're wanting to get out. But it's like, okay, how? Everything's different. The world is different. Do I fit in anymore? And when you said you could have 2 or 3 more careers, that is so correct.
But it's
And
true.
we met each other because I've been in the entertainment industry, and
Right.
that's how I first,
Fabulous too.
yes, yes. But that's, I've expanded my field into being the thought leader, author, and speaker as well. And it was a natural, it's not easy, by the way. And you know that it is not easy to make that transition, because the music is easy, but the actual speaking and message and make sure everybody gets it is harder.
But I get that. And I always say, follow your heart.
Yes. Yes.
Don't when someone says, and then, by the way, and in my book, just to tell your audience, but it's for really the over 50 crowd. It just is. It talks about dating, talks about sex. It talks about buying condoms at a certain.
Oh my goodness.
It talks about losses. It talks about you name it. And I'm very honest and very open about it.
You definitely are. You definitely are. But that's what I love about you.
Now my television show. Oh my God, I love that. I got to talk about that. In 2018, I started Pink Lady Presents, an internet show, and then I decided, no, I got to get on television. So I was lucky. Station KSCI in Southern California, channel 18 in all of LA County, and channel 118 in Orange County. They contacted me and my partner, and we have Pink Lady Presents variety show on every Sunday night at 5 p.m. And it is, I have everyone from veterans to seniors to intergenerational kids coming on singing. It is a great show. I enjoy doing it. And to me, having a television show that gets out is just now, Deborah, they just found over 18 million people.
Wow.
So I am just thrilled. And you know what? That keeps me busy. In fact, I'm scheduling now for July, August, September, October, November, December of this year and on.
Wow. Yes. And you said, I loved what you put on your little bio when will the Pink Lady retire? She can't, because she's booked until she's 100.
Right.
I mean, I love that. I just really, really love that.
But it's all about believing. If you believe enough in something,
yes,
it's going to happen.
Yeah, and you believe in your message.
Right.
Yeah.
You know it. You talk about it all the time. It's when you become that victim of, oh, look at her, look at him. I can't do that. Poor me. I'm too old. I'm 55. I mean, I had someone who was 40 in one of my classes. Yeah. And she looked at me afterwards and she came over and she said, and in tears, and she said, Pink Lady, I thought I'm going to be 50 soon, that it's over. And I'm looking at you and I'm going, oh my God, it's not going to be over for years. That's the attitude we want. That
is the attitude. And you have been blessed because you've got that, good health and energy. Yeah. And I feel the same way. My parents were very similar. My mom just, was just amazing, beautiful woman. And my dad, tons of energy. I come from a dairy farm, so getting up early is just what I do, get up with the cows, as I say. Well, I want to talk a little bit about the balance of your life too, because I think it's wonderful. You've got these kids, you've got grandkids, and
I got to tell you the cute story about that.
Yes.
So I have 5 children. Mm-hmm. The oldest child is going to be 70.
Oh my.
In fact, we're going to have a big party next year. He's going to be 70. I'm going to be 90.
Oh.
So we're going to have a big party. But I have 6 grandchildren, mm-hmm. and I have now 8 1/3 great grandchildren. I have a new one coming in September, and they all call me Pink Grandma.
I just love that.
Yeah, I did Jackie, it was my original name. No one, from my dentist to my doctor, to my postman, to the man in the grocery store, to every one of my friends, I'm Pink or Pink Lady.
That is so great. And it's, again, it's that brand that has just stayed all the way through, but you've owned it too. You've not been embarrassed by it. You've just totally owned it. And I have to tell our audience.
Oh, go ahead. And then I'll tell you a cute story.
And then I'll, because I have to tell the story, because I was working with this, a musical partner, and we came, Wayland and I, with our double grande. We came to your home. You had invited us in Los Angeles, because I'm in the LA area. And I walked in, and I'm one of these people. Okay, so you say your pink is everything pink. I mean, everything everything down. You opened up your closets, and everything was pink. The toaster, everything was pink. And I laughed because I thought, here is a lady. Your carpet is pink. Here is a lady that really owns who she is, vibrant, fun, and I know things change through the years, but you have kept with this message and just kept expanding.
Well, not only that, you have to understand something. Now I'll share something with your audience. At this stage in my life, I have a great partner. Now, my partner is a retired Air Force chaplain, and he is 77, okay? Going to be 77. Now, I'm 88 and a half, okay? We're 12 years different. So sometimes someone will say to me, oh my goodness, Pink Lady. I mean, your partner is 12 years younger. And I look at them and I go, well, if he dies, he dies. And the point is, who cares? You see what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
You have to live your life the way you want. Who says you can't go with someone younger? Who says someone can't go with someone older? Who cares?
Right.
You're happy. That's what I mean about letting no one rain on your parade.
Yes. I think that's such a great, great, great principle. So, well, I want to kind of sum some of this up, because we could keep going. We could definitely keep going, because I could come up with so many more things. But people can go to your website, and they can. I hope the people start watching your show. I mean,
my website is pinkladypresents.com.
It's perfect.
And the show is Pink Lady Presents on Sunday nights.
Just to make sure you've got the presents in there, plural, Pink Lady. But I'll make sure everybody has those links. But it's just, I think it's just that this should inspire so many people, especially the women at halftime. And a lot of men listen as well. I do not want to leave the men out, because men face exactly the same things.
And even more.
Even more. Exactly. I've raised sons.
Because when they lose somebody, Deborah,
yes,
they're in need.
They are in loss. They're lost. Yes, depending on that. So yes, it is, and need this encouragement and this help. And it is, it's important to get to, and getting that help. I mean, to not sit any longer. Get right with it. Get up and get out. When you're saying get up, get out, and get alive.
Right.
I want to us to sum it up with some of your top advice with how to stay young, vibrant, and successful, because we've talked about a lot of different things, and I think I know a couple of the things you're going to tell us. But I just want you to kind of sum up today our episode here, our show, with some of your top things. If people were going to walk away with just a couple things, what would they walk away with?
You know what, Deborah? That's so hard, because there are quite a few things. But I think everyone, without saying the men, the women, the kids, whatever, I say take a leap of faith to live your life to the max, and to choose to love it, live it, before you have to leave it. It's like, Deborah, use it or lose it. And be proud of who you are. Yes. And know that every one of your audience out there, you are special, you're unique. Look in that mirror every morning and say, hi there, I'm so and so, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to conquer that world, and I'm going to help someone, and in my case, see life through rose-colored glasses.
That's a wonderful attitude to have. And it's hard to come down with just a couple things, to love it, leave it, or love it, live it before you have to leave it. I just love that. It's alliteration at its best. And, but it's like when somebody asks me, what's your favorite song? I can't come up with a favorite song. What do you mean? So many. There are so many things, and so many things that we've covered today. And I think, hopefully for everyone, they've grabbed on at least one thing, because I always say, if you've heard, it doesn't matter what it is, a speaker, a podcast, a song, or anything, if you walk away with one thing, it's worth the listen. So I hope everybody has gone away with at least one thing.
Well, I'll leave them with one thought. Someone once said this to me, Deborah. It's not the breaths we take in life that count, but what we do with the breaths we take.
That is absolutely beautiful. What we do with the breath, because it's a gift. It is.
And may God bless you, Deborah, for what you do for people. Because first of all, you're a talented woman. You have a zest for life also. And you make everyone feel comfortable. You make everyone feel at ease. And that's something that not everybody can do. And I thank you for that. And I know your audience feels that way as well.
Well, I love my audience. I love the people. And this is part of being an entertainer, and audiences can tell this.
Yeah.
They can tell. You walk out on that stage.
You own it.
It's all about you.
Yeah. And you own it. I tell people, walk in that room and own that room.
That's right. And it's all about giving your best to that audience and giving your best to people. And I want people to grow, to not give up, to keep going. Definitely. So
and to know that they can at any age. I think that's my best thing, is that my age. In SAG-AFTRA, you don't tell your age, supposedly. And I do. Because I feel that if people look at me and say, wait a minute, if she can do it at that age, I sure as heck can do it. And I think that's a clue.
Yes.
A positive, not a negative.
Mm-hmm. It really is. It gives you a lot of clout. It just does. Yeah. And you are on it every single day. So that's great. Well, just thank you again.
Thank you. I really thank you for having me on today. I really appreciate it. And as I said, I bless your audience, and may I be here how about a date in my 95th?
I will have you again. Definitely.
Yeah, we'll do the 95th because, getting to 95 to 100, I'm really busy. So.
You are really busy. Oh, this has been so great. So, well, I want to make sure all our listeners make sure that you tune in next week as well. I have a really interesting topic that I will be discussing next week: the novelty of thinking for yourself in a world of clones. And as I'm looking across at the pink lady right now, she is not a clone. Okay. But we have a lot of them that tell you, oh, you need to do it this way. You need to do it this way. And they're trying to fit into some sort of social media slot, and you can be yourself. So we're going to talk about that, and I think you will really, really enjoy this show next week. So womenathalftime.com, you can get to us anytime. Just click on that. You can get me anytime also at goalsforyourlife.com, djworksmusic.com. I have 7 websites. It's a lot of them. But you can get to me. Our main podcast page is on womenathalftime.com. So you can get to me there, and the Hero Mountain Summit, at least check it out. If you are kind of stuck, invest in yourself. That's the best thing I can tell you right now. I have invested in my career. It's the best thing you can do. Very best. So thank you again, Pink, for being with us. And it has been an absolute pleasure. And for all our listeners, I will look forward to being with you next time.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on Women at Halftime. Visit goalsforyourlife.com or womenathalftime.com for many more resources, downloads, and programs, or to get in touch with me. I'd love it if you leave me a review and tell your friends. So until next time, this is Deborah Johnson signing off.